going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex. I talk a lot of movies and on occasion video games. If you have not seen my channel, that's what I do here. And today I'm going to be talking about the movie The Pope's Exorcist. The Pope's Exorcist stars Russell Crowe as the real-life figure, Father Gabriel Amorth. And Father Gabriel Amorth, chief exorcist of the Vatican, investigates a young boy's terrifying possession and ends up uncovering a centuries-old conspiracy the Vatican has desperately tried to keep hidden. The Pope's Exorcist isn't really gonna break any new ground in the horror genre. It's essentially just an or okay movie. What I think really gives this movie life is Russell Crowe's performance. I think he brings a lot to the role. I think the way that the character is written and the way that Crowe plays a lot of those emotions, especially when he has to be really sarcastic and he's kind of cursing back and forth at the at the evil spirits, and there might be some times where he doesn't seem like he's taking it all too seriously. It seems like he's joking around a little bit. I think that those are the scenes where Russell Crowe is at his best. This isn't the type of movie I would ever expect to see Russell Crowe be a part of. There's also really good practical effects in this movie. At least that's how I saw them. I didn't see it as CGI. And if you saw it as CGI, correct me in the comments below, but look, I'm a big advocate for when movies can use practical effects to their advantage, and I think this one did it, especially with some of the makeup on the face of the young boy. I was just like, that, you know what, that's kind of disgusting. I don't want to look at that right now. It really brought back memories of like what they would probably do in the 70s with The Exorcist, and you could tell that there was a big inspiration from The Exorcist with this movie. And again, I could be wrong, but the minimal use of CGI and the practical effects, especially the gore effects, people getting flung through rooms and through glass, it all looked practical. It all looked great. And I think that the director, Julius Avery, who directed movies like Overlord, he really crafted that tension really well and really made sure that all of that stuff was up to par. This movie does a lot of backstory for its characters. There's a reason Gabriel Amorth, who Russell Crowe plays, is the way he is. He's very troubled. So isn't his partner. And by the way, these two remind me of Father Merriman and Father Karras from The Exorcist. That's just how I saw it in the movie. I was like, yeah, this is The Exorcist. It's the two priests at it again. The supporting cast, or I should say the supporting characters rather, they actually made me care towards the end. I was like, I kind of give a shit now. See, the thing with the characters in this movie is there's not a lot of depth to them, but you get backstory with Russell Crowe's partner, priest guy, and Russell Crowe himself, and really nothing else in terms of characters. It's just really quirks, but sometimes if the quirks are unique enough and they're working for me, which they did in this movie, I can bypass minimal character development and look at that as like character traits and say that that's what I really like as a character, even though I've criticized that in the past, where it's just like, no, character has tics or like quirks, and that just doesn't make a character. For me, though, here it worked, and just seeing the dark, troubling backstory of these two priests, I think brought it home for me, where I said, okay, there's enough to latch on there where I can overlook the minimal character development across the rest of the characters and them themselves, and I somewhat care. But it is basic. It's not gonna break any new ground. It's very slow moving. I don't want to say boring, because I feel like boring is just an overused term at this point, but there were some parts of the movie where it was starting to strain my attention, and I just felt it was moving a little bit too slow for an exorcism movie. It didn't rely on jump scares, surprisingly, but it attempts to do jump scares, but the effort put into those jump scares is pretty minimal, and when it actually tries to be scary, it fails significantly, and I feel like I should be criticizing the movie a lot more for not being scary, because it's not scary at all. There's nothing here that is even remotely scary. It's because it's so slow moving, and scares feel so cheap. I don't want to say they feel cheap, but they just feel lethargic. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of energy running through this movie. It's just a case of been there, done that. It doesn't offer anything new to the genre. And quite frankly, if you had told me that this was a spin-off in the Conjuring universe, I'd believe you. But I guess the movie's sticking with me more because of the practical use of effects, the surprising amount of gore effects that looked practical as well, Russell Crowe and his performance, and the backstories to some of the supporting characters and Russell Crowe's character himself where I feel like that there was enough to latch onto for me. And I will say I enjoyed The Pope's Exorcist with just over half a bucket of popcorn. Like I said, it's not gonna break any new ground, and it's not all that scary. And to me, I think a lot of people are gonna judge this based on whether or not it's scary. And that I feel like maybe that's how it should be judged. But sometimes horror movies just don't do that for me. If there's still more to it that I like, which was the case with this movie, then I can kind of overlook it. And I'd probably watch it again, around Halloween time. If 2023 can keep delivering movies that look like they're bad, but end up being somewhat enjoyable as it has so far, it's been a few duds in there, but for the most part, 2023 has delivered so far for movies. It's been a fun and entertaining year so far with some great movies mixed in. It's a couple of duds, but it's mostly been solid. Even the movies, I'm like, that was mildly entertaining. And that's how I felt with The Pope's Exorcist. So if you guys have seen The Pope's Exorcist, drop me your thoughts on the movie in the comments section below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I will see you at the movies somewhere.